Hi folks! Today the category is Best Foreign Language Film, and a key factor we have to take into consideration when predicting this category is that only Academy members who have attended special screenings of the nominated films can vote on the winner. Consequently, the voting body is much smaller in numbers and tends to be slightly skewed towards an older demographic, which has shown us year after year that they have a preference for conventional filmmaking, usually human dramas with some sort of rewarding payoff. This is actually quite useful in helping us narrow down the list of plausible contenders for the win, one of which this year might be Outside the Law, an Algerian film by Rachid Bouchareb, who's previously directed two other movies that have been nominated here in the past. His latest is an historical drama centered around the lives of three brothers from the mid-1940s to the early 1960s, during the independence movement in Algeria which followed the Second World War. While I don't think this will be the one that does win, I can't say I'd be surprised if it did. Period dramas usually do well in this field, and it features a handsome old-fashioned aesthetic that should appeal to more traditional tastes. Some critics have called into question the historical accuracy of the film, but voters are probably less concerned with that than they are with evaluating the quality of the storytelling, which has been described in some quarters as a cross between American film noir and spaghetti westerns. Not sure that's quite what the Academy wants, but this may be one to keep an eye on. The next contender is Beautiful, from Mexican author Alejandro González Iñárritu, which tells the story of a man grappling with his own mortality. Some might think this film has a good shot of winning because it has a higher level of exposure than its fellow nominees. It's been enjoying very good press since last May when it played the Cannes Film Festival, and enough members of the acting branch saw it to nominate its star Javier Bardem for Best Actor. But unless all of these people also showed up to its official Academy screening, then it won't make a difference. And the fact of the matter is that the film is rather long, a bit on the slow side, and is kinda depressing. In other words, it does not fit the mold for the types of movies we've seen win here in recent years. But if Beautiful can be described as not quite fitting the mold, then our next nominee can only be described as flat-out shredding, crushing, pulverizing, and destroying the mold. That nominee is Dogtooth from Greek director Yorgos Lanthimos. It's a bizarre black comedy about three siblings who have grown up in complete isolation from the rest of the world, conditioned by their parents to be fearful of nearly everything from outside their secluded home. There's all sorts of weird stuff going on in this movie, including people down on all fours barking like dogs, cringe-inducing sex scenes, and a cat that runs afoul a pair of garden shears. Simply put, it flies in the face of everything this voting membership looks for in a movie. I congratulate it for earning the nomination, which was itself unexpected, but I would be dumbfounded to see it win. This next nominee is the one I think has the best shot. It's In a Better World, directed by Susan Bier, representing Denmark. Susan Bier has had a film in this category before, After the Wedding, which was nominated in 2007, and I think she'll actually win it for this one. The film shows the consequences of a friendship formed between two 10-year-old boys, one of whom defends the other by exacting revenge on a bully, and how this action affects them and their families. The film is deeply emotional and explores interesting themes about vengeance and what it means to help other people. This lofty combination of heart and mind has already earned it high critical esteem, several film festival prizes, and most recently, this year's Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Language Film. The odds are in its favor, I'd say, but there is still one more nominee that could take it. That would be the French-Canadian film Incendie, directed by Denis Villeneuve. It's based on an acclaimed play that tells the story of a brother and sister from Montreal who travel to Lebanon as per the final wishes of their deceased mother. Once there, the chronology of the film starts jumping back and forth, whereby their journey of discovery is interpreted by their mother's backstory as a Christian woman with very close ties to the Muslim community in the 1970s, when the country was ravaged by civil war between the two groups. This is the one that I want most to win, and not simply out of patriotism for my home and native land, but because this is a really smart, powerful, and confident piece of filmmaking. It's certainly good enough to win, I say, but for the time being, I'm sticking to my guns on In a Better World. Tomorrow, I'm wrapping up the week with a look at one of my favorite categories year in and year out, Best Cinematography.